Hey, this is Mark. I'm going to continue my little series here on my visit to Ireland with the ep2 shareholders meeting. I'm going off my notes that I made there. I can tell you that the last we talked about is that Fishman gave a short answer to the insider selling insult that I guess I gave him, that officers and employees in no way had any knowledge of the reverse split that was going to be announced. I find it hard to believe, as I said. Remember, the CFO, when she answered, said, "We sold." So I think there was probably extensive insider trading. There had to be. So we'd have to kind of look at the volumes and everything just after that announcement or before the announcement. At this point in the meeting, I'm kind of scratching my head thinking that these people are just totally incompetent, or something's not right here. They didn't look incompetent, and they certainly surrounded me by enough attorneys. So I say, yeah, it seems like something's up. In my opinion, there was definitely insider trading. Again, when I had been mentioning this, I told you that Fishman had jumped in and said that there was no prior knowledge of a reverse split. But then after that, Fishman went on to say, a reverse split should not affect the stock price. It's simple math, is what he said exactly. I responded and said, I disagree. If you do a reverse split, then you're going to take the number of shares down, and you're still going to have that excess shares that was on the books available. He said no. If, for instance, you have 183 million shares and you do a 15-to-1 stock split, then it goes down to 12.2 million shares. He feels as if they'll have a total of 20 million shares that are left over, in which 8 million shares could be released to the market. That has to be double checked. That's a little confusing to me. Is he saying that there's 8 million shares after the reverse split that the company can dump into the market to raise capital? I need to find out exactly how many authorized shares there are so we can get the number correct. If you can holler out and put a message in underneath the video, I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, I did have my big disagreement with the reverse split. At that point, I'm thinking that the reverse split wasn't even going to be taking place, but I was pretty upset, and I kept my cool and everything. But I also said that the companies usually sell into the market on a reverse split, and I explained that there was it was the way he's saying this is going to happen was not explained to the shareholders before the proxy vote, for that matter. I added that we shareholders are also not happy with the lack of transparency. Fishman answered both questions and saying that no, all shares will be divided by 15. Again, 12.2 million should be what's left, and of 20 million shares, and about 8 million shares could be still outstanding. Regarding transparency, Fishman said he feels like he's been completely transparent. He said he has a very different opinion of the lack of transparency. He asked me for an example, and I moved right to saying that I thought his compensation was way too much or substantial. I asked him how many shares he had. He explained that he had 600,000 shares. I asked him, hey, why don't you buy more shares with at least 20% of the money that you were paid last year and prove to us that you think that the company can survive? He said he would evaluate his portfolio, but he feels he has enough shares. I asked him to prove to the shareholders by buying more shares. He says he does believe in the company, and the other 12 employees believe in the company too. That's all I have for you today about ITRM. I'm going through my notes now that I'm much more rested. I'll speak to you more on Monday. Right now, this is Mark on the steps of a building in New York City, getting ready after a rest of my heart to go to Tampa, to go home and just relax a little bit. But I will speak to you tomorrow. Thanks.